especially because maybe, I'm guessing, because I don't know that much the Turkish history or whatever, is under the Ottoman Empire, I'm pretty sure the Turks, like, managed everything. The Arabs just, despite the fact that they had this reputation as fierce warriors or whatever the fuck, they really just weren't that much, they had the mind for war. Like, there were a lot of promotions and shit of, like, family members or people that probably shouldn't have been in the ranks they were in. The unity that they all thought they had as, like, Arab and Muslim brothers absolutely was fictitious as fuck. Without the Ottomans, without the Turks there to hold it together, they all kind of, like, saw their own chance for nations to pop up, so they didn't really give that much a fuck about each other as much as they would have dreamed that they would have, or everybody else says they do. And the Jewish people that came in... Oh, also, another thing, too, keep in mind, the Jews are fighting with their backs to the Mediterranean Sea. If they lose, they're gone. And they had just come from a fucking Holocaust, so they're literally fighting for their fucking lives, as opposed to the Arabs
dead,
that are...
Right?
Yeah, or whatever. Like, they already just got holocausted. Yeah. So half of them are literally deleted from the planet. So they probably have a much bigger motivation to fight as well. This is an existential war for them. Also, for the when the Arab uprisings were happening in the late 30s in the mandatory Palestine area, I think the Brits did put down a lot of resistance there, and I think some of your wealthier and any of the better trained whatever Arabs would have fled in the late 30s time period as well. And then in the early 40s, when the Jewish people there, your Irgun and your Haganah, Irgun and your Lehi, the Irgun and the Lehi were kind of your terrorist branches, your base departments were doing terrorist attacks. I think there were like the more educated and better off Arabs were also fleeing from that place too. So you're kind of fucked by the time you get to your civil war in 47.
Catastrophe, forcing 750,000 Palestinians from their homes and onto places like the West Bank and Gaza Strip.
Here, 27 names of the villages, which is the families who live.
Catastrophe, forcing 750,000 Palestinians from their homes and onto places like the West Bank and Gaza Strip.
Here, 27 names of the villages, which is the families who live in either camp they came originally from. For lots of families, they're still keeping the key, and even though they know all their houses destroyed it in 1948, but it still gives them a hope that one day they will back again to their homes.
So, when they say come back to their homes, okay, just to understand what...
That means kicks the Jews out, right?
Yes. When Palestinians talk about being able to return to Palestine, they're talking about going back to what we're calling Israel. They're not talking about... That's what they mean by that, yes.
Do you know which village in particular on the occupation side your family first came from?
Yeah. Beit Jibrin.
Beit Jibrin was just one of around 400 villages depopulated during the Nakba. Today, it is a totally renamed kibbutz.
Welcome to Beit Jibrin,
which is the Israeli version of a socialist commune, completely inaccessible to any Palestinian.
I always heard about it from my grandparents in my childhood. They were used to tell us lots of stories about how was life, how many lands.
I'm sure this guy's probably citing some real sources for all this. Do you think it's malicious or just one-sided perspective? It's just a one-sided perspective. His source... It's probably just like pop news, pop whatever. You can tell because, like, if you want to cite a credible historian that's going to give you, like, a pro-Palestinian perspective and you're a reasonable person, then you cite Avi Schleim. If you are a person who wants to cite a historian to give a pro-Palestinian perspective and you're fucking deranged, but at least you want to kind of sort of pretend like you're doing real history, then you would cite Ilan Pappé. But he doesn't cite anybody, so my guess is just, like, pop memes or whatever.
On there. That's a graffiti, tell the history of the Palestinians.
Or if you're American, you cite Norm Finkelstein because you're fucking retarded.
How many land they own there. That's a graffiti, tell the history of the Palestinians, how they were living before 1948, before the catastrophe as a farmers. And then when the catastrophe happened, they moved them to the refugees camp and they built the apartheid wall surrounding the camp.
The massive wall surrounding the camp was built in 2004 in the midst of a bloody conflict called the Second Intifada. The conflict took upwards of 5,000 lives. The Israelis say the Palestinians started it by targeting police and protests that turned violent, whereas the Palestinians...
That's crazy to just say 5,000 lives and not mention anybody on each side or who's dying or whatever else, but okay. Sorry, hold on.
The massive wall surrounding the camp was built in 2004 in the midst of a bloody conflict called the Second Intifada. The conflict took upwards of 5,000 lives. The Israelis say the Palestinians started it by targeting police and protests that turned violent, whereas the Palestinians generally place blame on the collapse of peace talks at the Camp David summit in 2000, as well as a provocative visit by Israeli politician Ariel Sharon to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, the third holiest site in Islam, which happens to also be built on a plot of land called the Temple Mount, which is the #1 holiest site in the Jewish faith. Total nightmare.
What's the breakdown
After they
there?
finished the...
Breakdown for what?
For the 5,000 lives.
The Second Intifada? I think it might be 50-50. I think it's like 1,000 people were killed. I think by like Palestinians killed other Palestinians because they thought they were collaborators, and then it might be half and half between both sides. But it was a lot of bombs, on buses, a lot of suicide. I think was the second Intifada the first time we saw suicide bombing? I think not. I think it was the first one, or it might have been at another point. Yeah.
Got it.
The war,
Number one holiest site in the Jewish faith. Total nightmare.
after they finished the wall, they built more than 7 military watchtower. In this road here, we have lost 3 children from these.
I also, fuck, I don't know this history as well. Wasn't when they say that the mosque is built on the Temple Mount, that's not on accident, right? Wasn't that done intentionally? For fuck, I'm trying to remember. It's the holy place because that's where Muhammad went to fly off to heaven with his winged horse, right? I don't know. The construction of Al-Aqsa Mosque was. I mean, it must have been intentional, right? Why, how of all the places you could build a mosque, right?
watchtowers.
Oh wait, somebody said it was about 1,000 Israelis and 4,000 Palestinians. Okay, wait, maybe 50-50 is not the correct number. Maybe it's 50-50 after the collaborator deaths is what I'm thinking. Let me check real quick on this, just so I'm not super awful. Oh shit, the wikis have changed so much.
Is it a war zone in the wiki?
That all of the Israel, yeah, you can't do the wiki stuff is really rough right now for anything related to Israel. All of it is like super astroturfed. As it stands right now, it says about 3,000 Palestinians were killed by Israeli troops, and 150 to 400 Palestinians were killed by other Palestinians, and then about 1,000 Israelis died.
Okay.
That's what your kill count on the wiki is.
Muhammad, he was in his home here in this building, 10th of November 23. He was killed from the watchtower in front of us by a sniper. He shot him a live bullet in his chest. He did nothing. He was bleeding for 10 minutes. Then the father decided to take him inside the car and take him to the hospital. When he drove down, another group of soldiers stopped the car. They took the body outside of the car and they arrested the father. They didn't give any first aid even to his child. After that, they took him to the military base. The Israeli commander called.
Now, see when the mosque was built on the Temple Mount, it would have had to have been between like 0 and 450 BC or AD or whatever, or CE, Common Era. Hold on. Al-Aqsa Mosque. Let me see. That the second Rashid Umar ordered the construction of the primitive mosque from the year 661 to 680. Oh, actually, wait, I'm sorry. I just remembered another meme. I don't know how true this is because I don't dig into the religious shit ever. I might be wrong here also because I don't know my religious history that well. Sorry. Okay. Muslims say that Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third most holy site in all of Islam. And they say that because... careful. They say that because I think Muslims claim that when Muhammad went to heaven, he rode a winged horse to heaven, and he started on the westernmost mosque that was established or something. I think is like, I don't know if it's a hadith or if that's in the Quran or whatever. And Muslims want to say that the westernmost mosque at the time would have been Al-Aqsa Mosque. I've heard Jews claim, though, that that's impossible because Al-Aqsa Mosque actually wasn't in existence when Muhammad would have died. I don't know what the truth is to that 100%, but if the Jews are right on that, then I guess that would coincide because Muhammad was around 400, 500 AD, wasn't he? Hold on, I don't fucking know. I could be wrong on when this guy's born. I don't know these fucking religions. Oh, let us check. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was 200 years later. 570 to 630.
How did he get a winged horse?
You would you want to know, don't you? Or wouldn't you like to know? So 570 to 630. I don't know if that mosque existed back then or not, but it's still, this would have been 50 years later. I don't know. I don't know the actual truth of that. These guys fight about their fucking history all the time. I will say, though, okay, not to simp for any particular religion, but of all three Judeo-Christian religions, I'm pretty sure Muhammad's the only guy who actually 100 trillion fucking percent for sure existed, right? And did some shit. Okay, we're like fairly
That's their
certain.
guy.
We're fairly sure Jesus was alive. I don't know anything about like Ibrahim, and all these other whatever fucking dudes. But Muhammad was a real dude. Just saying, okay?
So he really banged a kid, yeah?
Whoa!
Yes or no?
His father, and he told him, come pick your son, and he doesn't know what's his situation.
If you're gonna have Morbler unbanned, you should unban Slugprice. No, Morbler is only 40% coward and type shit and never responds in chat. Slugprice will never type anything while I'm streaming, and then like at 2 a.m. when he thinks I'm not watching, he's in chat saying like, here's what I don't like. Also, here, you listen. You want a pro tip for the types of DGGers I hate the most? It's the people who show up in chat off stream hours and like, oh, what's up? Oh, me? Don't watch stream anymore. That's why I haven't been around. You fucking losers still doing blah blah blah. I would know. I've never even seen. You guys suck. Be back tomorrow night at the exact same time when I come. Those are the most annoying types of fucking people. Holy shit. Okay.
When they give him his son, even they didn't come with the ambulance. They came with a normal truck, and he was in a plastic bag. And they...
Are we really trying to invalidate the story based on a timeline rather than the fact that he rode a flying horse to heaven? Oh, so just because you've never seen a horse with wings 1,500 years ago, you're telling me that dinosaurs were walking around, but there can't be horses with wings? Really?
Even they didn't come with the ambulance. They came with a normal truck, and he was in a plastic bag, and they throw him in the ground, and the soldier left. It's not more than training for their soldiers.
Places like Ida were never supposed to be permanent. According to UN Resolution 194, which was signed by Israel, Nakba refugees would eventually be given safe passage back to their villages, and those who chose not to return would be given compensation in the form of a reparations package.
But that resolution, just in paper, nothing changed. After more than 77 years under this colonization, we're still looking forward to go back to our home villages.
I tell Musa that we'd like to see some of the illegal settlements that people have been talking
So what
about.
happened to this? Why didn't the Jews follow it?
It's like,
Really complicated?
no, they just mean not quite the same things that these people think they mean. Oh, fuck, I've forgotten what so many of these were about, particularly. Resolution 194. Every Arab state voted against Resolution 194 precisely because it did not establish a right of return and because it implicitly recognized Israel. What website is this? Camera.org. This is either a mega fucking pro-Arab site or a mega pro-Jew site. I forget. Camera is they're super on one side or the other. 2025 annual report. Because facts matter, big Jew flag. Okay, so I think these are the Jew people. Let's see. Resolution 194. Do you think you should try to reach out to Andrew and give a more nuanced take? Nobody wants to give a nuanced take on this. It's way too profitable to just shit on Jews right now. Nobody cares. The problem for these UN General Assembly resolutions is that, one, they're not technically binding legally at all because they're just General Assembly, not Security Council ones. And then two, usually these are like very diplomatically written. Like the language is very soft and it doesn't really give you, there's no like hard anything in them. Okay, so resolution 194. The year is important. Oh, also this was
Whereas like the JCPOA has like, it had actionable shit in
the
it.
JCPOA was an actual treaties that it was way
A
different.
resolution is just like a little bit more vibe.
We hope you kind of like do this stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
To undertake upon the request of the Security Council and any of the functions now assigned to the UN mediator on Palestine or to the United Resolution decides that a committee of the Assembly consisting of China, France, shall present before the end of the first part of the present request the commission to begin. It calls upon the government. Okay, hold on. Requests calls upon. Resolves that the holy places, including Nazareth, religious buildings, and sites in Palestine should be protected and free access to them, assured in accordance with existing rights and historical practice. But arrangements to this end, blah, blah, resolves that in view of its association with three world religions, the Jerusalem area, blah, 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 blah. Requests the Security Council instructs, resolves. Jerusalem is free road. Okay, resolves that the refugees wishing to return to their homes and live at peace with their neighbors should be permitted to do so at the earliest practicable date, and that compensation should be paid for the property of those choosing not to return and for loss of or damaged property which, under principles of international law or in equity, should be made good by the governments or authorities responsible. So that's like the one line in here for it. But then the issue, there's not, the issue is all of the language and all of these is also, it's very soft. All 6 of the Arab League states that were in the UN and then were involved in the recent war at 48 all voted against this resolution as well, because they didn't want to recognize Israel as a state.
So because they don't want to recognize them as a state, they vote no. Versus like trying to have something like actionable.
The problem with the Arabs is they're always like one deal behind. Basically, the history of a lot of the Arab states here is like, or not really, it's really of the Palestinians, is they think they can get a better deal, so then they hold out, and then in holding out, they fuck their position, and then they want to go back to the deal that was on the table before they fucked their position, and then obviously now the Jews are like, well, we're not doing that because now you fucked up.
Because now we have the guards.
Yeah. And then what will happen is they'll say, okay, fine. Well, what are you going to offer us now? And then the Jews will put something on the table and they'll be like, well, I don't know. And then they fight more and shit happens. And then after shit gets fucked, then they're like, okay, wait, I think the deal that you're offering before was actually okay. And then the Jews are like, well, no, now it's changed. And then they just play that pattern out infinitely until now. It's fucking retarded.
New illegal settlements on Palestinian land in the occupied West Bank.
My only exposure to their existence thus far had been through Louis Theroux's recent documentary, Settlers, where he was able to gain rare access behind the curtain of these ultra-nationalist enclaves, which he claims contain people even more extreme than those he interviewed in South Africa after apartheid.
I'm so uncomfortable using the word Palestinian because I don't think that it exists.
Just the lethality of it and the
I want to just say that I love and appreciate every single person that's been hospitable to me. Okay, I love all of you very much. But deep settlers, so people who live really deep in the West Bank, that sound American, are going to be some of your most, in my opinion, irredeemable, out there crazy people, because these are people who not only chose to move to Israel and move to a settlement, they chose to move deep out. These are going to be the kind of people where if you call it the West Bank, they're going to get triggered and say, you mean Judea and Samaria.
Judea.
Yeah. These are some of the craziest people. And they're not only crazy, they're kind of pussies because they don't even do violence or whatever. Yeah, radical, like religiously driven, culturally driven, just, yeah, they're like, yeah, but...
To which the objective of the settlers is to, for many of them, it's to drive the Palestinians out. Like, under apartheid, the white South Africans, they didn't tend to say, like, we want to drive the Africans, the black Africans, out.
You can have Johannesburg. Is that Johannesburg?
Yeah.
Okay, I give it to you tonight.
Okay. They wanted to subject them to a punitive and degrading legal regime, but they weren't routinely, as I understand it, every day.
Yeah, because it's not the same thing at all, which is why using apartheid to describe anything related to this is literally fucking mind-rottingly fucking retarded, because it's not, it's just...
I mean, I want to be careful how I say it because I don't want to be appear to minimizing any aspect of apartheid. What
the Jews are worse than apartheid.
That was day-to-day unlivable, where you couldn't really, endless check, hours to get anywhere if you could get anywhere. A sense in which you were just a stranger in your own land.
How much time you gonna stay in Israel?
Hang on, but I don't think we're in Israel. Are we in Israel?
Like, why would you're starting fights when you say shit like this? You must know this, right? But
You're in Israel now.
Are we?
Yes.
In the West Bank? No?
You refuse to call it apartheid, then what exactly is the Israeli government doing? What you're doing is the equivalent of me smacking a child and then you saying, why did you rape that kid? I said, I'm not raping the kid. It's like, really? So you think it's okay that you just hit that child? No. Oh, well, if you're not going to call it rape, then what are you going to... Like, it's not... Apartheid, like, referred to, a specific system in place in South Africa that was established for hierarchical racial domination of one group over another, okay? For the Israel-Palestinian territory shit, this is very obviously a territorial war. There are 2 million Arabs that live in Israel proper. 2 million of them. There are Arab members in the Knesset, in their Congress, their parliament. They have Arab people that could be elected. They have all the same rights and freedoms and everything else as Jews in Israel proper. That was not the case in South Africa. To call it apartheid is fucking retarded. You can call it, there are tons of ways to explain it, and I don't think it's a tenable situation. I think it's it's stupid. The way that Israel has it set it up is fucking retarded. But it's just, to call it apartheid is just retarded.
You know what to do. All right, back to Palestine. Musa says that while there are some settlements around Aida and Bethlehem,
If you look there, this is one of the closest colony to Aida camp. It's called Gilo.
our best bet to get a true candid look at an urban landscape ripped apart by settlements would be about an hour south in the city of Hebron. So we hopped in the car and went for a drive.
Wow.
So this is an Israeli colony. And all the way to Hebron from now or even before, you're gonna see lots of Zionist colonies. When it's not legal according to the agreements.
He says that it might take us up to 5 hours to get there because of the sheer volume of highway checkpoints that have been built by the Israeli military. Today, there's over 800 checkpoints, and their primary purpose is safety, which means keeping Palestinians away from settlements and off of the pristine, separate highways they've built between settlements and into mainland Israel for cars with yellow Israeli license plates. But our car had a green Palestinian license plate, which destined us to hours in traffic and potential military detention without cause. And here's why. So back in the 90s, there was something called the Oslo Accords, an alleged peace negotiation between the Israeli state and the Palestinian Authority, which would supposedly end in an amicable two-state solution. During Oslo, and for a 5-year temporary period, the West Bank was divided into 3 administrative zones: Area A, B, and C. Area A, representing 18% of the land but a far majority of the Palestinian population, was under full control of the PA, Palestinian Authority. Area B, representing 22% of the land and mostly encompassing rural communities and certain sections of Jerusalem, was under the shared control of the PA and the Israeli army. And then Area C, representing a whopping 61% of the land but home to very few human beings, was under full Israeli military occupation. Notice I said temporary because all this land was supposed to be transferred back to the Palestinians by the year 2000. But that same year, peace talks collapsed, sparking the second intifada that I mentioned earlier, and keeping these temporary A, B, and C zones in place to this day. What that looks like in 2026 is the dramatic restriction of movement for Palestinians between West Bank Area A cities like Aida Camp/Bethlehem and Hebron, which are only connected through roads that run through Area C under Israeli military.
Why don't you like the checkpoints that they help catch terrorists? A lot of these checkpoints were thrown up after, I believe after October 7th. I don't know if they catch terror. I don't know if I would even believe if the IDF said that. I think that most of the terrorists they catch is probably when they're working with the Palestinian Authority to root them out in certain cities. Unless you're telling me that terrorists are driving between these checkpoints with bazookas in their trunks and they just forget that there's an IDF checkpoint there. I don't know.
Military law. And of course, it's in these C zones that almost all the settlements exist, which look almost nothing like I thought. I had a vision in my head, likely informed by social media, that most settlers were young, crazy kids on the hilltops like the one that I'd previewed earlier. Yet the colonies that Musa and I drove by, almost every few miles, look more like gated communities in Scottsdale, Arizona, advertising relatively affordable
How real is the Area ABC thing he's talking about? That's true. These are the areas that were originally laid out as part of the Part 1 of the Oslo Accords, yeah. And then the creation of the Palestinian Authority was a Palestinian government finally to ideally start to transition away from Israeli solo control of the West Bank.
Division-style cul-de-sac space.
What?
And how's that going?
It was basically nuked by the year 2000 because he says peace talks collapse. I would blame Arafat. I don't know how common this is through history, but sometimes I think it happens to where the men that you have for war are not always the men that you need for leadership. I think, I'm really pulling this out of my ass. This is a historical vibe for me that I don't even know enough history to say, but I think one of the reasons why George Washington was, I think, considered such a great man is he was a great general, or at least a decent leader, right? And then he became a leader, a president in the United States, and then he stepped down from being president of the United States. But he was able
could have been it forever.
Well, yeah, but not just that, but he was able to handle both of those roles really well. I think sometimes you get men who have minds for war and don't have minds for peace And when your military leaders become your government civilian leaders, they just can't make that transition. Arafat was born as the leader of the PLO, I think in the conflict in the West Bank, or it might have been over in Jordan proper. I think it was in the West Bank. I think it was in the early 60s. Arafat was born as a leader of what would become the PLO, and he was a military guy, and that's where he got his popularity. That's what he grew up doing, resistance fighting, Fedayeen attacks and everything into Israel and all that shit. But when he became the leader of the Palestinians, he just did not have the mind for negotiating peace with the Israelis, and he fucked off and jerked off and fucked around and jerked around way too much. And I think at the end of there were two big peace talks in the year 99 and 2000, I think. One was at Camp David with Clinton, and then the next would have been a last-ditch effort called the Taba Summit, and Arafat fucked around at both of these, and it would have been an ideal two-state solution probably for the Palestinians, but Arafat never really wanted to make peace. I don't think he didn't have the mind for it, or he always thought if he held out he would get a little bit more, and then things eventually blew up in 2000, and then in 2002 I think he dies in his home in oh my god, I went to this stupid city, fuck, what was it called? Polenta. It's not polenta. What am I thinking of? It's on the tip of my brain stem, my meninge. I don't remember. God damn it. Where did he die at? What was his city? Oh, Ramallah. I don't know. Didn't he die in Ramallah? Wasn't that where his house was? And if you ask the Palestinians at the time, I think their theory was that somehow the Jews gave him AIDS.
Okay.
Oh no, he died in 2004, not 2002. Sorry, it was 2 years.
So that's like unfounded, right?
I believe
okay,
so.
We're not sure.
Well, no, I don't think he died. I don't think he was assassinated. I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
The problem is that the Arabs make up a ton of crazy stories about like what the Mossad does, but the problem also is that like the Mossad has done some crazy shit.
Yeah, like the Pagers thing.
The Pagers thing? Yeah. Wait, did you ever hear how they killed like the leading, it was like the biggest bomb maker of the Second Intifada?
No. At least I don't think so.
I don't remember the whole story, but they packed this guy's phone with explosives or thermite or something, and they got him to get a call or something, and it blew. It was crazy. It was a crazy way they killed him. But
yeah, I saw that they had like some crazy conspiracy theory about birds, I think.
No, the
or is that a meme one?
Arabs, Palestinians think that every single animal is Jew controlled. There is so many retarded stories in the 50s and 60s about them thinking that like every dolphin is like a Jew spy. It's wild. I don't know. It's wild shit.
Homes with swimming pools and nearby access to grocery stores and movie theaters. At that moment, I began to understand what Louis Theroux meant when he talked about the diversity of settlements.
I can't say exactly how many settlements there are, but there's a lot. I think more than 100, maybe 200 or 300. And in addition,
I don't know why this map is drawn this way. The vast majority of people live near the Green Line, near this in the west. I think it's mostly up here, but they're not all equally scattered around this.
And in addition, there are what are called outposts, which are almost like the eggs of settlements, like they kind of in embryonic form, where there's a bunch of extremists, Israeli activists, often youth, settler youth, take a hill or take a little area, put camps up, and then often.
Yeah, this is in 2015. Hamas seizes Israeli spy dolphin off Gaza. Hamas claims to have captured a dolphin being used as an Israeli spy off the coast of Gaza, a local media report. The
Poor
militant
dolphin, man.
Palestinian Islamist group, which dominates Gaza, says the mammal was equipped with spying devices, including cameras. I like how they have like a stock picture of a fucking dolphin. It's apparently discovered by a naval unit of Hamas's military wing and brought ashore. No photographs of the alleged Marine secret agent have been released. Al-Quds said that the newest recruit was stripped of its will and turned into a murderer by the Israeli security services.
Sometimes the IDF will de facto kind of defend them, but they're not recognized by the Israeli state. So we saw one recently legalized under Israeli law, but not under international law, outpost. That was Eviatar. And that was there. It was a kind of religious nationalist settlement of a fairly extreme sort, and the caravans. But there's other settlements where they are larger and more suburban looking. So at least some, or maybe most of the people there will be dream with Israeli law, but not under international law, outpost. That was Eviatar. And that was there. It was a kind of religious nationalist settlement of a fairly extreme sort, and the caravans. But there's other settlements where they are larger and more suburban looking. So at least some, or maybe most of the people there will be either economic looking. So at least.
Is this an Israeli settlement, or is this a Palestinian city? Does anybody know what this is? This isn't Hebron, right? Sometimes you can tell because they have... Oh, no. I think...
Maybe most...
I don't know if you can tell 100%. The black water tanks at the top, I think, are almost always Palestinian ones. But they might have some newer... This must be... Israeli shit. These guys got solar panels and shit, right?
The people...
It's high tech.
Where they are larger and more...
Oh, I'm retarded. Sorry. Fuck, never mind. This big wall here, after the Second Intifada, this huge wall, this is the wall, right? Was made to separate the West Bank from Israel. And they built that wall a little bit into the West Bank. So my guess is this the wall?
By a little bit, do you mean like inches, or are we talking miles?
No, but maybe like, not miles, but like it's just built a little bit into the, like within half a mile would be my guess. I think this is the wall. Okay, so this is probably one of those green line settlements near the wall.
Suburban looking. So at least some, or maybe most of the people there.
And a green line settlement would be a Jewish settlement in the West Bank.
Yeah, it's just near the green line. So when they were making negotiations for giving 2 states or whatever, to do like a 2-state solution, what they were doing, they would talk about this thing called land swaps. Because what would happen is if you were to swap like 5% of the West Bank land over to Israel, and then give the Arabs 5% of like the Negev or something, you would get like 95% of all the Jews that lived in the West Bank, because almost all of them lived right near the Green Line.
Got it.
But now the issue is that now there are way more that live there than there were back in 2000, and they're getting further and further out. So, retards. Fucking Jews, dude.
Will be either economic migrants, interlopers, like they're people who've gone there mainly to get cheap housing. And then some of them are ideological settlers who've come from America or elsewhere. And then there's even more extreme and crazy ones that we didn't get into, because most of them don't really want outsiders in there.
You think they know that it's wrong what they're doing?
They know that the world views it as wrong.
As Musa and I drive and are forced to take the long way, I'm struck by the beauty of the land. The rocky, rolling hills of Palestine are like a gently astroturfed hybrid.
It's not beautiful. This land is not beautiful.
I was saying that the whole time.
Yeah, the weather is perfect near the Mediterranean. I will say that. I was shocked. I thought Tel Aviv and all these places were going to be super fucking like hot because it's the desert. The weather is beautiful. But the land is dog shit. For the land of milk and
shitty rocks.
Yeah, the land of milk and honey, whatever God did, he fucked over the Jews or anybody that he was trying to give this shit to. Because there's no fucking oil. There's no fucking, not that many resources. It's hard to fucking grow anything here. It's actual dog shit land.
And he's like, look, I'm going to make all these retards fight over this shitty land.
Shitty land, yeah. And he gave the real good shit to America. Hell yeah.
Of the sweeping cliffs that surround Lake Mead outside Vegas, and I begin to understand why so many people feel a deep, unshakable connection to the land. It's nice, man. As we make our way to a checkpoint, I notice a strange...
I don't know why he's saying that.
He's from LA, he's just simping. He's simping hard. Well, to be fair, LA is kind of shit.
It's hilly. It's not fucking rocky. Well, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking about Northern California.
Northern California is beautiful.
Very nice.
Southern California is... The weather's pretty nice.
Unshakable connection to the land. It's nice, man. As we make our way to a checkpoint, I notice a strange red sign in the distance.
This road leads to Area
No
A
Jews
under the
allowed.
Palestinian Authority. The entrance for Israeli citizens is forbidden, dangerous to your lives, and is against the Israeli law.
We need to be quick.
Musa says it's been put up by the Israeli army as a way to instill fear in mainland visitors and restrict commerce, and that it marks the beginning of an Area A enclave. Across the street,
restricts commerce. The IDF just doesn't want to have to go in and bail your dumb ass out when you get into some stupid shit because you're going into Jenin or someplace you're not supposed to be in, and then you get fucked.
I also notice a bulldozer on a hill.
And it's also supposed to be for the Palestinian Authority exclusively administers this region. It's not like jointly administered by the IDF or Israel or whatever.
And that it marks the beginning of an Area A enclave. Across the street, I also notice a bulldozer on a hilltop that appears to be tearing down a local village.
The mountain you see on top, it was occupied recently by settlers, and now they are setting up caravans. And you see down the road here, they installed the yellow gate. When they close it, Palestinians who own the agricultural lands, they don't have access to it.
I step across the street to get a camcorder shot.
The soldier is watching us.
English. What are you doing? Oh, I'm taking a video.
Fuck.
For the crime of taking a camcorder shot of an illegal settlement while in the company of Palestinians within Palestine, I was placed under Israeli detention by 2 teenagers from New Jersey. They couldn't explain the crime, but seemed more than happy to give out the time. If you'd like to see and hear about the next phase of our journey,
There is no crime. You're in a militarily administered zone. It's not about crime or any bullshit. It's just they just don't want retards wandering into places they're not supposed to be, or where they can get in trouble. Based on new research done in Norway about the Oslo Accords, that has been based on the private archive from Turji Rod Larsen and Mona Juel, 2 of the diplomats behind it, highly questions the agreement. Both of them are under investigation for corruption in Norway. Wow. Don't know what that means, but okay.
I explain the interrogation process, visit the Al Ibrahim Mosque on both sides, and witness the invasion of central Hebron by a group of settlers. Head to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/channel5, where you can also see our complete sit-down interview with documentarian Louis Theroux. As many of you guys know, Channel 5 is a completely independent, probably 10-person organization that is almost always being sued by at least one rich and powerful person. We make some money from ad reads and some money from merch sales, but the far majority of our working income comes from our Patreon subscriber base. A sizable army of real ones, all of whom pay $5 a month to support the mission and gain access to an exclusive catalog of new, uncensored, early, and epic content. So if you want to see some cool stuff and also support us while doing it, I'm going to put the link in the description box and pinned comment of this video. Again, that's patreon.com/channel5. Hope you guys have a great day.
Channel 5 Live, worldwide, Hollywood Live. Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News. Channel 55, we don't fuck with clusters. And 5 is the best number.
Destiny don't justify every single evil thing Israel has ever done. Challenge impossible. Rob G 7430, pop into Discord.
Come on in.
Fuck. Hold on. We got some good slop, maybe? Did you watch this? Cop messes with the wrong Lamborghini owner. Oh, you don't even have... Hold on.
No, I haven't seen this.
Wait, were you getting my top monitor or bottom monitor?
I'm getting the game.
Oh, good. Fuck.
Hello. Hey, I'm Trooper Rummer with the state police. I got a little microphone. Nice to record our conference.
I don't know if he's going to show they're actually from New Jersey, but saying that they were from New Jersey is kind of a dog whistle. Yeah, and he's just being this dog whistle or whatever. Racist? I don't know.
Conversation, okay?
Thanks.
Bro, can somebody, can somebody do me a favor? I want to check after the game. I want to see, can somebody get me the ending of Yamato's subathon, the final? Can someone link me the VOD? Because apparently it didn't last very long. I just kind of want to see.
One more thing. Try, for noobs, you put your foot further back. The further back your foot is, the sharper the pop is.
Right.
Like look, when you're here, like I can put all my weight. See this? But when I'm over here, like a lot more energy. It's like a spoon.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Honestly, it's kind of depressing.
Why? Because I'm not.
Now at the park, I'm seeing all these modules that I could rip.
Why don't you do that?
I just feel like I'm gonna die. You know what I mean?
Find that
I think
dog.
I've lost my
Find that
powers
dog.
almost. It'll come back. It'll come back. It'll come back. It's gonna come back, it's gonna come back. No confidence. I need to get some juice.
That was good.
I need to get some juice. You okay?
That was like 50 points on those. 50
But
points.
you barely get more. Yo, I'm gonna get my wallet and I'm gonna go get some juice. I can't wait. I need juice like now. Like, I haven't had anything to drink all day.
Hey.
Okay.
This is a pretty cool map.
This map is called Exit.
They got the little RTX little puffballs.
The foliage is shit though. If you go too close, the foliage it's like a JPEG.
Lazy dub. If you go beyond that foliage, immediate map box.
Okay.
You just fall through the map right when you go on the other side. Was that real?
Yeah, I was dizzy. No, it was not real. It wasn't real.
Is that a meme?
It's still a meme.
You said 2 minutes, so it's up to you.
No, I'll wait. No, I'll wait. All right. Can you skate at all?
Not like park. Like I used to like downhill longboard, you know?
Okay. Okay, we could do a cool line with like 4 modules.
Okay.
See if Sue can follow you. Like just cruise.
It really feels like I want to do it, but I can't.
Like your body has energy, it wants to unleash it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't know how to.
Yeah.
I'm going.
All right, go for it.
Do you want him to follow you, or what do you want to do?
I was just gonna go cruise on the modules.
Just send your line. No, I'm not.
That isn't too bad. Sorry, it looked crazy, but it's not.
You pressed left bumper right as you fell to catch that fall.
Yeah, just to save some points.
All good.
I like some cool tricks, but I'm scared a little bit. Oh shit, sorry. Gotta commit. Hey, juice. What's up, mate? Yeah, I got you, man. Nice to meet you, man. Thank you, man.
Oh, he's here.
Hey, yeah, no, first one, come on.
Don't leave your phone.
Oh, yeah, forget that.
Yep, yep.
Guys, I'm gonna disconnect the mics because it's probably gonna get out of range and make a bunch of buzzing sounds, so just give me a second. I'm gonna grab him a drink. I can grab it. Can you grab some too? Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
I'm gonna grab that too.
Yo, my knee.
Yeah.
My knee was hurting.
What's up, old man?
I should have probably have figured this out like 15 years ago.
I'm gonna go back to the wireless mics, guys. 1 second.